I don't think the earth would function without music. So really, without music, we can't live because music starts from us with that. That's the first sound of beat you hear before you hear any instrument play.
Welcome to St. Croix. My name is Naydyeyah Acoy-Thomas, and I'm a proud Cruisan and multimedia maven. I'm here to take you on a journey through the vibrant music and culture of the island. Finally here.
Funny thing is, I've been waiting for you to get up in here too.
Rhythm is the heartbeat of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Get ready to dive into the richness of St. Croix and experience the music, the people, the history, the food, and discover the soul of the island. St. Croix is a dynamic cultural ecosystem, and Cruisians are especially proud to celebrate their shared heritage. Over the years, many cultures have washed ashore, and the island has played a host to a wide variety of people over its storied history. From indigenous populations, European colonization, and enslaved people from Africa, to the blend of Latin American and Caribbean cultures, each group has left its fingerprints on the island and shaped its cultural tapestry in unique ways. St. Croix is a treasure trove of stories to uncover. It asks of visitors to stay curious and open, to discover for themselves the beautiful heritage, and to learn from its people who are eager to share it.
Play a song, everything about you give a beautiful feeling.
Mada Nile is a reggae artist on St. Croix whose soulful voice is filled with cultural pride. As a musical ambassador, she has shared the sounds of the island on many stages around the world and believed it's within the sound that listeners discover the true spirit of the island, a spirit that, among many things, gives a voice to the voiceless and passionately sings of social justice. Mada Nile, yes. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your home. You are a pioneer in the reggae industry on St. Croix, and I would say internationally, right? Because your name, you've been traveling, you performed on many different stages,
Yes.
been all over the place with our music, right?
Yes.
How do you think the reggae music influences the culture of St. Croix?
To explain it, you have to hear it.
Serenity Nest, beautiful place, you know. It's actually a zen zone for me, you know. Come here and hold our vibes. We come here and, you know, listen to great music.
Let's dance, every woman and a man out there, and just dance all night long. With any jam, with infecting money.
I think that's where we carry our VI culture in our song that we produce and the lyrics we say. Cruisians always, we do speak about struggle and strife. Struggle and strife is something that we always sing about. We sing about love and unity, that's me.
Just like everyone have their own unique fingerprint, music is an opportunity for you to paint, per se, your canvas with notes and melodies and also messages that you might have been inspired to. So music is everything to us, just like the opportunity to communicate.
That's my time. Thank you. I love you all. Respect.
Music is the ocean just whoosh. Music is, you hear that breeze? That's natural music. So when I speak about music being life, it's just not necessarily the drum, which in the drum and the bass is a natural song that we carry every day. So we have a natural instrument within us. So yes, we cannot live without music, because the first sound of music is the heartbeat.
What will it take? What on earth will it take for this world? For this world?
Protest music is you would label it as protest music, but I would say our reggae music would fall under that in a sense, because we speak about most of the things that happen within the reggae music. Like again, if you do calypso, normally if the calypso music comes out or something like that, then one time you will hear about protest music in the calypso music is wrong election. That's what you hear it.
Yeah.
Political parties. But as far as reggae artists, we sing about social things, like for instance, I would like to see more love and unity. Don't want no more war, don't want no more blood running in the streets. Listen to the words. I would like to see the homeless get food for eat. Love to see the homeless off the street. Love to see my black nation embrace. I would love to see the decrease in the murder rate. To live in love and to live as one. That's the life I said I'm talking about. I would like to see more love and unity. Don't want no more war. Don't want no more blood running in the streets. That's protest music every day.
Yes.
Music doesn't have any boundaries, but it represents a people that come out of the heart of Africa, where it is scattered throughout the diaspora. And the message connects to us in the same way that we might have felt in being in a system, a Babylon system per se, you know. And yeah, so the music connects to those who feel the struggle, like Bob Marley say, you know, who feels it, knows it. So yeah, it's just a connection that is transcend boundaries. You know, it's a spiritual upliftment and something that can be a guidance to many.
Me nah let go me roots and me culture. Let go me roots and me culture. Me nah give up on me roots and me culture. Me nah give up me roots and me culture. Me roots and me culture. Love up me African roots and me culture. African roots and me culture. Them never tap. This is how we turn out to be. Then give me black school, black teacher, white philosophy. Never teach African culture nor ancestry to keep we culturally blind 21st century.
The struggle is the same, and the people are the same, just scattered to different islands. The rhythms are very familiar, the foods are familiar.
No one does traditional Crujan food better than Panchi's Seafood. Every Saturday, this Bayside spot becomes a gathering place where flavors of St. Croix are served fresh on the island heritage and is kept alive on every plate.
It's all local, 100% local. Here we have the fried fish here. We call pot fish. Bayside cake, which is Johnny cake, of course, you know. You got a banana fritters, the saltfish fritters. Famous conch. This is the #1 here, the conch water. And then the fungi. This is made from cornmeal and okra. And you serve it with your conch or your fish. Panchi been in existence from 1979. The real history goes to the fishermen. We still have people in St. Croix don't eat nothing off of ice, especially seafood. So they wait for the fishermen patiently to get the fresh fish. So the fisherman came to me and said, Panchi, we need you to keep the customers on the Bayside. Get them a little music, get them a little thing to drink, and get them a little thing to eat. And everybody loved the cooking. So I have to increase And that's how we got to it. If you learn to cook, your parents teach you to cook, you're keeping up the culture, you're keeping the tradition of the place. In my days, chicken was never from the supermarket. Chicken was out your yard. They call them to the yard. Eggs was out your backyard. Now today's, the food is completely different. It even tastes different because everything is farm raised. And that's why I try to keep my food local as possible.
Keeping it traditional, keeping
Definitely,
it exactly how it was
definitely,
many years
yeah.
ago.
I will do my best to be instrumental in trying to preserve it. Our culture food and our culture music. Local music actually is what we call now Quelbe. This all started from scratch band, meaning that you had to make all your instruments. You take a squash that goes on a tree, you let it dry out, you put lines in it, and you make a squash. And this is what actually the Quelbe music comes from.
Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights are culture bearers of Quelbe music, a traditional style of folk music that originated on St. Croix. Quelbe is a perfect metaphor for the people of St. Croix. While it shares melodic influences of European music, it remains firmly grounded on its African-inspired rhythm. Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights bring the spirit of St. Croix's musical history to life with their iconic performances.
Me and my childhood friends who I met in school and we grew up together, what we all had in common was that we love music. So we had musical instrument, mostly conga, timbal, squash steel, string bass, and singing mostly. It's just how we used to be. We used to just be like having jam session all the time.
How long ago was this?
Before you ban.
Yeah.
Man, in the 60s.
In the 60s.
Yeah.
In Quelbe music, the rhythms are distinctively African. No question about it. The 6/8 rhythm, which is a sort of off time, and you emphasize the syncopation, the upbeat as opposed to the downbeat, which is distinctly African. Even the 4/4 rhythms with their, it's polyrhythmic. With Quelbe music, every instrument, including the flute, is actually playing a rhythm. The flute is playing a melody, but is also playing a rhythm along with the melody. And that's one of the reasons why Quelbe music, it's difficult for anyone, unless you're totally paralyzed, to hear the music and not at least tap your feet and dance. The melodies were essentially European melodies that our ancestors heard, and when they tried to replicate it, they could not get rid of that African rhythm. They were very creative and were able to modify it and created a sound similar but more complex in terms of the rhythm. Quelbe music is our history, our culture, our traditions, our experiences. Quelbe music is the soul, the heart of Virgin Islands, people who came here from Africa and had to endure oppression and suffering, but yet survived under some terrible conditions. And the music is what kept them going. It kept us alive in the sense that we're able to pass on these traditions, our experiences, our rhythms, our beliefs to subsequent generations. And my goal is to, through the 10 Sleepless Nights, pass it on to future generations.
The II Cultural Dance Company, founded in 2010 by Kendall Casey Henry, is a prominent ensemble dedicated to preserving and promoting the rich cultural heritage of St. Croix through traditional dance and music. This group specializes in quadrille, a lively dance that originated in the 17th century France and was brought to the Caribbean by French colonists. The group performs in authentic Madras attire, reflecting the island's historical influences.
Aya is what the Taino Indians used to call the island of St. Croix. So Aya is technically St. Croix. So that's what we, ingenious name, call the group the Aya Cultural Dance Company.
And speaking of culture, can you talk to us a little bit about our fabric that we have on right now?
Oh, the madras. All of we are wearing different prints of madras. I am wearing the official madras of the Virgin Islands, the Virgin Islands madras. So it's very honored to have a fabric of our own. But dancing quadrille is definitely an art, is the art of the Virgin Islands. It's the official dance of the Virgin Islands. Here on the island of St. Croix, we dance the French quadrille. Quadrille was created here on the island of St. Croix in the 1700s when the French ruled over the island of St. Croix. We use French cars like balancier and tourner are French words that we use throughout our call. And we also do the French quadrille, which is the lancers, the French lancers. So we do a lot of French movements and inspiration to our dance. So that's why it's very important for us. But with the music itself, it also combines on how the dance was created on our sugar plantations by the enslaved Africans. So it's very important to us as a people because it belongs to us. The physical movement of the dance comes from our African ancestors and how they move because it was a mixture. It's a mixture of European and African dance and movements that created quadrille. And it's very important to understand that quadrille is a very social dance. Everybody dances with everybody, you know. The dancers go from each other all the way around, moving gracefully and performing by the command. And that's very important when we're doing performance as these is to perform the original style of quadrille so people can understand the context of what is quadrille.
If it's possible, can I learn some steps today?
Yes, definitely. Dress right back and hold a line. Grand meet. Draw away. Once more. Partners wrong, whirl. Ladies change away, right, left, left. Ladies alone. Turn. Balance your own partners. Tune. So that's the basic steps.
Oh,
there
wow.
You go.
Professional.
Yeah, that's all it takes. That's it.
Throughout the island of St. Croix, melodies are seemingly carried on the breeze. Tonight, I'm on the Christian Set Boardwalk, where on any given night, you can discover a musician tapping out a rhythm that sweeps you into the vibe of St. Croix. Traditionally, how do you see the steel pan playing into St. Croix culture?
Well, I think the steel pan, once it came over during around the 1960s from Trinidad, I think it created a culture here in the Virgin Islands that wasn't seen in most other islands. I think the energy that the pan gives off, it creates a sense of relief and ease in my brain. I think it also creates a level of hype where it's a balance of ease and hype that gives me the energy to perform. And I think it gives me also the love of music that creates a sense of ease in my heart. So the sound of the steel pan is something like unlike any other instrument. It's not like, even though it is a drum, it's not like a percussion instrument where it's gonna hear a bang or a hit or a rim shot like a regular drum. It's a lot more musical than that. And the sound that it creates is more of a roll, I would say. So it creates a sense of vibe and softness that most other drums don't have. So what they do is they usually take a special hammer and they indent each part of the pan to create a different note or different sound for it. And the smaller the notes, the higher pitch it usually is, while the bigger ones are usually a lot lower in the octaves, yeah.
The spirit of St. Croix is magical. It's carried forward by its many heritage keepers and cultural bearers. It's tapping out a rhythm you can feel in the waves rolling on the shore. It connects you to its heartbeat. The spirit of St. Croix honors its imperfect past and amplifies the stories of the oppressed. It borrows from the many cultures that have graced the island. It reveres tradition while it continues to evolve, grow, and shape the cultures outside its own. The spirit of St. Croix lives in its food, music, arts, and most importantly, its people, who are eager to share their heritage and welcome you to discover the beauty of St. Croix for yourself.